49. The other is PV0408. We have 0891 0069 21 000144 0903. Voucher number 22001238 and 21000067 to be admitted into evidence and marked accordingly as an exhibit.
Voucher dated the 10th of December 2022. The voucher number is PV 22001396. Voucher dated the 16th of February 2021, and it has PV 21000069. Voucher dated the 18th of May 2021 with PV 21000144. Voucher dated 10th of May 2022, and it has PV number 0903. PV voucher dated 31st of October 2022 with PV number 22001238. Voucher dated 15th of February 2021. It has PV number 21000067. Voucher dated 9th of May 2022. It has PV number 0891. Voucher dated the 31st of October 2022 with PV number PV 22001197. A voucher dated the 4th of March 2022 with PV number 0408, and the final voucher is dated 28th of February 2021 with PV 21000049. These vouchers are admitted in a bundle as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MC in brackets 1/025.
as the commission places. Now, Mr. Camara, we will soon be done.
Yes, thank you.
For the first part, maybe we will call you back.
Yes.
But Momodou Lamin Biba,
Yes.
you know him?
Was
Yes.
was the former PRO to council?
Yes.
Yes.
There were monies given to him by way of impress, and several requests raised for and on behalf of the mayor. Yes.
Yes.
You recall this?
That's true. Yes. Yes.
Did Momodou Lamin Biba retire this impress? Was he retiring impress?
Yes. Momodou Lamin Ba tried I have some respect for him because he tries very hard to retire impresses that are given to him. But in most cases, sometimes some of this expenditure and how they spend the money, you are not able to get authentic receipts and documentations.
They what?
The way the monies are spent.
Yes.
They are not able to get documentation, correct documentation
Yes.
to back it up. Because ideally, at certain threshold, above 3,000 and above, should go through GPPA, procurement and all that.
Right.
But the fast lane that they operate is just getting the cars on behalf of the Lord Mayor and then saying they're going to do A, B, and Z, which are executed. But again, those expenditures or those errands that the mayor do send them, to be able to get documentation and paperwork from those errands and paper, activities that they carry out is a challenge for them most of the time. But Elbert tried, but I told him, tomorrow is opaque and you are a young man, do your best to be retiring these monies.
And it was always a problem.
Yes, and it was always a challenge.
And like I said earlier, after every amount given, there has to be retirement, failure of which there should not be another impress given.
Yeah, that's true. We got it wrong there. We should have kept an impress register. But again, the frequency.
Yes.
The frequency of how they request for these funds is sometimes not normal. And again, once you start to ask some difficult questions, it's always an issue because at B.C.C, at every point, from the cashier point to the accounts department to the security, it's a control environment that any word you alter goes to the Lord Mayor, and even you don't even have the chance to say no because you have a leak. You have a leak of people that are just shopping for information, negative information, to spread and cause problems. So the admin staff, they sit there, they just execute orders like a barracks.
Even barracks sometimes should have rules.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Ba also testified.
Yes.
And also explained the circumstances surrounding the monies that he was requesting for, and for the most part on behalf of the mayoress, and as well struggled to provide retirement for these funds. But Mr. Bachili is aware of this irregular process.
Yeah, for me.
Do you guys discuss this at any point?
Yeah, for me, I try to understand the frequency of my CEO Bachili, but I think the relationship that exists, maybe there is something that he cannot be independent as far as the mayor is concerned. I don't know what's the problem, but there is something very, very strange that when it comes to the mayor, Bachili can use his independence and use his alterance. For instance, is the only CEO that will call us to a senior directors meeting and the mayors will be there 3 hours, but you will not alter a word. And I say, this is strange. You, that is the boss, you bring us here, and then all alter a word for 3 hours, 4 hours. Caucus meeting before they invite the rest. And most of it is not geared towards moving the Banjul City Council forward. It's all about they are against us, especially the internal auditors. In my life, I've never seen people, CEOs that care, director of finance and managers that care about their welfare to restrain an auditor. They've gone to the point that they have to be writing constant memos to these auditors. In the end, you want to take an auditor like J. Kor and you take him to cleansing service. So it doesn't make sense. And then at the end of the day, I don't think it's getting any better, because you've replaced Abdullah J. Kor with somebody that will even increase the fuel of the mayor from 15 to 20,000. So it's difficult. I think we need some education, especially with politicians that assume positions, and then help them to understand where their limits are. And again, the CEOs also must stand up.
They know, Mr. Camara, let's proceed. It's a struggle for power. It's as simple as that. And that's as simple as it can get. They know. Even the least educated among the chairmen or the mayors or the mayors or the least exposed, they know that if money is not, if it is public funds, there is a procedure for it.
That's true.
You don't have to go to school to understand that it is public funds, and so there's a procedure for it.
Yes.
You understand that? And this has been talked about every single day. Even when they issue out employment letters, they clearly state that they should follow these guidelines, the relevant books of accounts.
Yes.
And so that's it. It's not theirs.
Yes.
We have the special audit of Banjul City Council for the year 2021 and 2022.
Yes.
There is the issue regarding the overpayment of contract fees. It reads, during the review of contract agreement between Banjul City Council and Future Generation Construction Company. You recall this?
Yeah, I did.
Of Banjul Albert Market dump site highlighted the cost of the contract as $968,260 to be paid in 4 installments. However, during our review of the cash book for the period, we noted the council paid 5 installment payments amounting to $1,160,152, thus making an overpayment of $191,892 to the contractor without any justification. How is this possible?
It's possible because earlier on in the day, I gave you those 10 companies. And those 10 companies, Future Generation is part of those companies that are brought to council by the mayor, by the Lord Mayor.
Okay.
So again, maybe payment was done, and again, she minuted to Bacheli that they needed to pay again, and then that should be reason for the overpayment.
Yeah,
but in most times we do look at, because we don't pay full. Whatever we pay, if we are to pay again 10% out of the 100%, when the 90%, we need to pay another 30%. That voucher is printed, and then we will know with the document that we've collated that we need to get it right.
But if you have the contract, then you have the amount to be paid.
Yes.
You have the necessary deductions for the necessary taxes.
That's true.
Then the simple calculation, you know exactly how much you should pay.
Yes.
So for instance, the situation appeared to be so tense that no one can even have to calculate anything, just pay as you are ordered.
Yes, because what happened is within the 3 years that I've been there, I think this is the first one that evaded me. But even I am the first living director of finance in Banjul City Council to pay $1,100,000 as withholding tax to GRA. It has never happened. All director of finance that come and go have never paid a dime to the government. I stood my ground to take monies from this contract and paid it to GRA.
Yeah. So when did you realize that this payment there was an overpayment?
When we realized
that there was an overpayment.
No, I didn't know. As I said, up to this day where we stood, the auditors have not brought a draft to me to look at. They've sidelined me for reasons best known to them. I even told the management that whatever happens, even if you don't want me, I am the captain. Allow me to deck the ship and you can kill me after that. But an audit cannot come during my tenure and you took me out and said, well, don't talk to him. I said, do people know what's happening? Even when I came as a stranger, what I found in your hand that was not in order, I managed it and helped you sail well. Now that I am here, this is my audit and you took me out of it. I'm just seeing these things now.
All right. So we'll give you time to kind of find more information about this.
Yes.
You can have access to the special audit through Mr. Camara.
Okay.
We have there were several travel expenses by the Office of the Mayor.
Yes.
On page 19 of the special audit report, it says the Office of the Mayor and the Rafela chapter. Council seem to be funding the Rafela chapter a lot.
Yes.
That members incurred unaccounted travel expenses from the council's recurrent and development bank accounts, totaling $1,931,442.31 for the year 2022.
Yes.
Now, these expenses include visa processing fees, itinerary and per diem payments to the mayor and her Rafela Gambia chapter members.
Yes.
Why will council be paying the mayoress for her travels in relation to Rafela and people that work for Rafela or are affiliated with Rafela?
Wrong. It's all wrong. But you have a CEO, that's the accounting officer of council. Even if you are scared to ask the Lord Mayor, Rafela account should come to council. If you are afraid or scared to do that, you should be bold enough to say that the little crumbs that we have on the B.C.C. cannot go and fund Rafela. If I were a CEO and I'm scared to tell you all projects of council should hit the main radar, I'll be brave enough to tell you that if you cannot help us, leave us with the little that we have.
It says our overview revealed some of the travel expenses were related to Rafela, such as the 2022 Congress in South Korea, which according to the invitation letters, the flight, accommodations and registration expenses of attendee were sponsored by the Congress.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
We also noted an authentic City of Sakniwa invitation dated April 6, 2022 to the mayor and her assistant Binta Conte to visit the City Council of Sakniwa, Texas from 17 to 24 of June 2022. However, according to the mayor's Facebook post, printout provided to us as supporting documents, we noted that the mayor visited the state of Arizona University and Minnesota, where she met a Gambian soccer team, the Gambian Association of Minnesota and the mayor of Minnesota from 19 to 24th of June. You see, what they are saying here, literally, is
yes,
you use public funds for your own personal interest.
Very well.
That's exactly what they are saying.
Yeah, very well.
For their own personal agenda.
Yes, very well.
But that is why there need to be adequate supporting documents, so that if they are not present, any CEO or director of finance should say, I cannot sign this.
Yes.
I cannot authorize this.
Yes.
I cannot append my signature on this because it would not, I cannot support or back up my signature for council's expenses where it does not follow due process.
You are very right, 100%. I concur.
There were also allowances that were paid for Rafela staffs, you may call them.
Yes, yes.
On page 23, says allowances were paid to 4 members of Rafela Gambia chapter from council's funds without authority. These allowances amounted to a total of $372,000 in the year of 2021 and $359,400 in 2022, therefore being a grand total of $731,400. This allowance is not recognized as a recurrent expense of the council. Also, there was no authority provided for this payment, nor was it part of the budget for both periods.
Yes, before the external auditor captures it, the internal auditor captured it before. But when he raised the issue, they did everything to transfer or take him out of the department, and they end up succeeding in it.
You see, we have to practice for what we preach. You had told the commission here, everybody heard you when you said that the remarks were that I cannot sit and see someone being bitten by a crocodile.
Yes.
And so you bypass procurement where even you have very clear instructions not to proceed with procurement. You went ahead, council, the mayors give instructions for more than about $700,000 or thereabout, correct?
Yes. 1 million.
About $1 million.
Yes, 1 million, yes.
Reason being that there is a crocodile that bit a child in Banjul. Is it Tobacco Road?
Yes, Tobacco Road, yes.
And so you cannot stand by and watch that.
Yes, those are our words.
Yes, we blow hot and cold at the same time. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yes.
When we see that we can capitalize on the needs of the people, we use that to score points. You understand that? But at the same time, we are seeing people traveling left, right, center, millions of dollars being subjected to activities that are not council related, does not benefit council and the people in any way, doesn't have justification in any form for why monies are being spent, and they are being spent uselessly and selflessly.
Yes, and at the end of the day, they will abscond.
You see, the absconding
is
even something that is a topic for another day.
Not one. There are about 4 absconds.
Yes, I know it's serious.
Yes.
I'm not trying to downplay. Yes. Maybe that was the end point, to provide those people with opportunity, because they have no business in being paid for to go travel for whatsoever purpose for which they are trying to establish. But let's assume that they even traveled and they even came back. Understand? The idea is that money was not supposed to be spent on that.
That's true.
That's the reality.
I concur.
Yes. But people close to people who have power are given opportunity to travel to the US or to wherever they can find their greener pastures, just to give them opportunity to have visas and travel. That's the reality. That's the reality. You know what that does? You know what that does? It will not only cause financial loss to the B.C.C., thereby affecting the lives and livelihood of the people, but also it will hamper the opportunities of genuine people who want to travel, perhaps for education, business, tourism, you name it.
Yeah, I concur. It once happened at the Social Security Housing Finance Corporation, but the senior manager that wrote those letters was terminated, and the institution was blacklisted. For about 5 years, it was difficult to get visas to America to go and pursue educational pursuits.
Mr. Camara, this will be all from me. It's sad that we run our institutions like this, very sad. But that's what the findings are. These are not things that are manufactured. These are findings. Yes. And the people that have been mentioned, they will be here. They will sit where you are sitting. They will have the opportunity to counter or provide their explanation. But as far as I'm concerned, these are the findings, and they are very, very serious, and they only talk about how really self-centered some people are in relation to handling the administration of these institutions. And that's a fact. Yes. Honorable Chairperson, that's all for now for this witness, unless there are questions.
I just want to, Mr. Camara, you will come back to help assist in us understanding some of the documents.
Yes, please.
We have admitted.
Yes, no problem.
Because you have admitted.
No problem.
You have presented a lot of documents.
No problem, Mama.
Which we will review.
No problem.
Yes, but one question I want to ask is about the issue. This is contained in your statement, by the way. the issue of bank reconciliation.
Yes.
You've been there for 3 years, correct?
Yes, 3 years, yes.
And if I could read verbatim from your statement,
Yes.
and which has the heading Bank Reconciliation Exercises, I'll just go to the second paragraph, which says the issue of the lack of bank reconciliation statements have been captured in the past external audit reports of Council
Yes.
before I assumed the position as in DOS.
Yes.
All right? And you have highlighted the draft management letter, which was covering the period 1st January 2015 to 31st of August 2017. You also stated that the final management letter with management responses for the period 1st October 2017 to 31st of December 2018. And the final one is the audit report and final management letter for the year ended 31st December 2019 and 2020.
Yes.
Yes, having had all of this information, and what step did you take in trying to make sure that the transactions that you have had, you are able to make some report or some reconciliation to some extent?
Yes. Yes.
Why was that not done?
Yes,
by you?
Mama, that's a good point. And if you go to any finance department, you have what we call a finance pool. A finance pool, you will have partly qualified accountants. You will have people that are studying and are doing very well. They know the bits and pieces of how an accounts department look like. So when I came, I wrote, and these are the 2 letters, and I would like to admit them for exhibit. I wrote to management that I had only 2 staff, and then our transactions are getting voluminous, and we've inherited a lot of challenges in posting, in coding, in reconciliations and all that. Can you please be generous enough to supply me with 2 more assistants so that we can address the challenges that I've inherited. And those challenges were very clear when we went to FPAC. When we went to FPAC, the yesteryears, this year. So when I wrote those memos, at first, the CEO agreed with me. He gave the green light for us to bring a person. And I looked at my team at Ozone Bay and Sun Beach and scouted one, Ambalanjai, who was the accountant then. I brought him to help in our bank reconciliation and orders. One day, the mayor, they went and told the mayor that Camara Amnakum Isifi. That was the end of the story.
English?
One day, the gentleman was working was for a week. One day, he came to work, I think the mayor saw her, and somebody went there and tell her, Camara is in it. And CEO was called by the mayor that they don't want to see the gentleman in the premise of B.C.C. Whatever happens, I should tell the guy not to come to B.C.C. anymore. And I told the CEO, look, our ranks are depleted. Ibu was the only one here with Jatu, and Ibu is gone. It's not coming back. We have to replace him because the work has to be done. But it continues to fall on deaf ears. All I can do was to rely on Jatu, and we forge ahead. So that bane still remains in that department. And then I had Mohammed Cham, who applied the job with me. He was acting under prison for 2 years. When it was advertised, he was also shortlisted. I was also shortlisted. So when I succeeded, I came, I told him, my brother, we are all one. Let us try and join ranks and move this department.
Yes. Now,
Yes, so,
sorry, let me
yes.
interrupt at this point. The Mr. Njai you brought, did he pass through the process to be hired to
Yes,
work under the finance department?
Yeah, what we did was we gave him a 1 month rolling contract. 1 month contract. Yes, 1 month contract to be renewable every month.
Yes, but
Yes.
Having given him contract, do you think it was prudent on the side of the CEO and yourself to keep the mayor posted on the staff that are working under the finance department?
Yes.
Not to just
Yes,
walk
yes,
into the
yes.
to the council and see a new staff without knowing how the person has been hired.
You're right, but again, I did,
Yes.
and I followed the due process and the protocols.
Yes.
I wrote to the CEO.
Yes.
The CEO should report to the mayor.
Yes.
I cannot go direct to the mayor. I wrote to the CEO and got an approval. What I expected that once approval of CEO is given, the next minute CEO would have gone to the mayor and said, this is what we have, and this is what I have done, or this is what I want to do. But our reporting lines are the CEO, and that's where I address my issues based on the FPAC. I didn't even only say I want to bring somebody. We went to FPAC, and we were told that we needed to do a lot of things that were also inherited problems that I had. And again, in trying to solve those problems, I said, let's fortify our ranks.
Thank you, Mr. Camara.
Thank you, Mama.
Yes. Any other question? Yes, Mr. Camara. So we'll draw the curtains here for the time being.
Yes.
And we will call you back for sure to clarify on some of these issues.
No problem.
After we may have had the CEO.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
Kindly sit down, Mr. Witness. Welcome. Mr. Witness, welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters.
Thank you.
For continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry, may I remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cham.
Good afternoon, Ma.
You're welcome back.
Thank you, Ma.
Council, we may proceed.
Cham, please remind us, for how long have you been finance manager for B.C.C?
Sorry?
For how long have you been finance manager for B.C.C? You don't know?
Yes, I know. I have been appointed as finance manager in 2013.
In?
2013, 1st of October 2013.
You are still with the Banjul City Council?
Yes, on administrative leave.
Please come again.
Yes, on administrative leave.
The special audit for Banjul City Council for the year 2021 and 2022 on page 7. You've had access to this?